You've done everything right, haven't you? You visualized, you wrote the affirmations, you believed, or at least tried to, and still, nothing moved. The thing you asked for never arrived. The job, the money, the love. It's like the universe went quiet, as if your vibration just got lost somewhere in the noise. But what if I told you? It's not that the universe didn't answer, it's that it answered exactly what you were really saying underneath the words. Because here's the truth no one wants to face. Manifestation doesn't speak English, it speaks frequency. And every thought, every emotion, every second of waiting sends out a signal far louder than your affirmations ever could. You don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you believe you are allowed to have. And most people, even the ones who seem spiritual, spend their lives asking from a place of lack. They call it faith, but it's really fear wearing perfume, a hope that whispers, maybe if I'm good enough, I'll deserve it this time. That's the silent trap, the invisible hand that blocks your manifestations. While you're busy lighting candles and repeating mantras, the universe isn't punishing you, it's mirroring you. You ask for abundance, but your vibration hums scarcity. You ask for love, but your energy screams loneliness. You say, I'm ready, but your cells still cling to survival mode. And you don't even notice it happening, because it's subtle. It hides inside your politeness, your productivity, your endless need to prove that you're okay. You call it manifesting, but what you're really doing is negotiating with your own disbelief. Every time you say, I'll be happy when it happens, you confirm that you're not happy now. And the universe just keeps agreeing with you, over and over. It's not cruel, it's coherent. It can only give you what you already vibrate as truth. And that's why your manifestations stay stuck. Because deep down, your vibration is still saying, I don't believe I can have it. You see, energy doesn't lie. It never listens to the mask, only the message beneath. This is why some people seem to manifest without trying. They're not lucky, they're aligned. Their inner world and outer desire speak the same language. And you're not broken. You're just broadcasting two different frequencies at once. Part of you calls in the dream. The other part keeps announcing the wound. And until those two finally agree, you'll keep wondering why nothing changes. So let me ask you, when you visualize what you want, do you feel peace or pressure, excitement, or fear of losing it? Because whatever you feel in that moment is exactly what you're sending out. That's the code the universe reads. It doesn't care about your words. It cares about your resonance. And here's where the real danger hides. When you try to manifest from a place of emptiness, you amplify the emptiness. When you visualize what you want while secretly fearing it won't come, you're not creating, you're confirming. That's the terrifying truth. That's the trap no one tells you about. It's not the lack of clarity, not Mercury retrograde, not even karma. It's the dissonance between what you ask for and what you vibrate as true. But don't panic. This isn't a curse. It's a wake-up call. Because once you see it, you can change it. You can realign your requests with the calm certainty that says, it's already mine. That's when the shift happens. When your mind stops begging and your energy starts becoming. And before I tell you the one thing you should never do when trying to manifest, the one habit that blocks everything you're calling in, pause for a second, take a breath. Notice how your body feels right now. Are you tense, trying to figure it out? That's the vibration of control. And control is just fear dressed up as effort. The next part might be hard to hear, but if you let it land, it'll free you from the loop you've been trapped in for years. Because the thing you keep doing, the one thing that ruins every manifestation, isn't what you think. It's not your mindset. It's not your timing. It's not even your belief in the law. It's something deeper, quieter, and it's been sitting in your energy every time you try to make it happen. So stay with me, because once you see this truth, you'll never manifest the same way again. If this already feels like it's speaking to your soul, subscribe now, because the next part will change how you think about manifestation forever. So here's the terrifying truth. The one thing that quietly kills every manifestation you try to build. You don't block your dreams because you doubt the universe. You block them because you keep lying to yourself. Not with words, with energy. You say you're ready, but somewhere inside, you still whisper, maybe not yet. You smile when you visualize, but your nervous system still remembers the last time you failed. And that memory hums louder than your affirmation. That's self-deception, the sweetest poison in manifestation. It makes you believe you're doing everything right while your vibration keeps screaming no. You can't manifest from a wound because wounds don't attract healing, they attract attention. And attention is the currency of the universe. Whatever you feed with focus grows roots in your field. Every time you chase something to prove your worth, you teach the universe that you still believe you're not enough. It listens. It agrees, not to punish, but to reflect. It's like standing in front of a mirror saying, "I'm abundant," while holding your breath, hoping the mirror won't notice the fear in your eyes. That's the frequency of self-deception. It's not evil. It's familiar. It comes from years of being told to be realistic, to stay safe, to ask for less and call it gratitude. So when you finally dare to dream bigger, your energy panics. It doesn't trust that kind of freedom yet. That's why people sabotage the very thing they've been praying for. They get close, a new job, a new relationship, a sudden opportunity, and then something inside them says, "This can't be mine." And just like that, the energy collapses. You can't lie to your frequency. It remembers every emotion you've ever stored, every belief you never questioned. And the more you pretend to be fine, the more resistance you create. Because pretending is friction, and friction slows down the flow of creation. So what do you do instead? You stop performing alignment, you start feeling it. You let yourself admit what still hurts. You let the old pain breathe instead of burying it under gratitude quotes. Because once it's felt, it loses power. That's when truth becomes magnetism. Think about it. When someone walks into a room fully at peace with who they are, everyone feels it. They don't have to speak a word. Their energy does the talking. That's how real manifestation works. It's not a to-do list. It's a frequency match. But here's the uncomfortable part. To vibrate at truth, you have to stop lying to yourself about where you are. You have to stop pretending that everything's aligned when your soul is tired of acting strong. The universe responds faster to your honesty than to your perfection. So if today all you can say is, "I want to believe, but I don't yet," that's powerful. That's real. That's a frequency the universe can meet halfway. Because authenticity always vibrates higher than performance. Let that sink in. It's safer to be real than to be positive, because real carries life, fake carries noise. And once you understand that, you'll see how the self-deception trap works. You keep chasing alignment instead of embodying it. You try to convince your vibration instead of listening to it. You can't heal what you hide, and you can't manifest what you won't feel. So stop forcing light into the dark. Sit in the dark until your eyes adjust. Because sometimes peace doesn't come from fixing. It comes from finally seeing. When you reach that level of clarity, the energy shifts. Suddenly, you don't chase anymore. You allow, and everything that once felt far away starts finding its way back to you. That's the turning point. The moment you realize manifestation was never about control. It was always about coherence. You become what you stop resisting. So, what's next? How do you translate this awareness into creation? How do you shift from self-deception to self-permission? That's what will unfold in the next part, where truth becomes power and calm becomes the real currency of abundance. But before we go there, breathe. Feel how your chest expands when you stop pretending. That's alignment. That's you uncloaked. If this message hit you somewhere deep, stay, because the next part will show you how to finally manifest from peace, not from panic. Here's the secret every awakened soul eventually discovers. You don't manifest what you chase, you manifest what you embody. The universe doesn't respond to need, it responds to coherence. And coherence only happens when what you think, what you say, and what you vibrate finally tell the same story. Most people try to manifest from the wound. The ones who succeed, they manifest from wholeness, from the peace that says, "I'm already complete, and that's why I can attract more." It's a paradox, but a beautiful one. You get what you stop begging for. You receive the moment you stop reaching. That's not laziness, and that's alignment. Because when you're truly aligned, you no longer chase outcomes. You become the frequency that makes them inevitable. It's like the ocean trying to summon waves. It doesn't have to. Waves are what it is, and you are the ocean. Your manifestations are just the ripples of your state of being. So stop focusing on the ripple, become the ocean again. That's where real power hides, in stillness that hums with quiet certainty. In gratitude that isn't a technique but a language. When you start vibrating like that, life stops testing you. It starts matching you because your energy finally says, "I'm no longer in waiting mode, I'm in being mode." Look, you were never meant to live by effort alone. You were meant to live by resonance. And resonance is born when the heart stops arguing with the mind. That's when the quantum field opens. That's when time bends in your favor. Not because you forced the universe, but because you stopped resisting it. When you let go of control, you don't lose direction, you gain flow. And flow knows where to go. Maybe that's the most liberating truth of all. You were never blocked, just out of rhythm. And now, you're remembering the song. Every failure you thought you had was just a rehearsal for this awareness. Every delay was a detour toward alignment. Every unanswered prayer was the universe whispering, "Not that way. There's a clearer path ahead." And that path isn't outside you, it's within your frequency. When you start loving without fear, money finds you through peace. When you start creating without pressure, opportunities come wrapped in ease. When you start being yourself without apology, your vibration becomes irresistible. That's when the universe says yes. Not because it finally heard you, but because you finally started speaking its language. And now you know, manifestation isn't a formula. It's intimacy with your own energy. So stop asking, when will it come? And start asking, how can I vibrate as if it's already here? Because when you do, everything changes. You start feeling different, acting different, magnetizing without trying. That's the real magic, not in your words, but in your being. So take this moment to breathe, to let go of the rush, the pressure, the timelines, to remind yourself that alignment isn't something to reach, it's something to remember. The power you've been begging for was never out there. It's been humming quietly inside you all along, and now it's awake. So let this be your new mantra. I don't chase, I don't wait, I allow, because what's meant for me is already on its way, and my only job is to stay in peace long enough to receive it. And if that peace feels hard to hold, don't run from it, sit in it. That's where your next level of power is born. If this spoke to something deep in you, stay close, because the next chapter isn't about asking the universe for more. It's about remembering that you already are the universe. In motion, in creation, in love. Subscribe, stay close, and keep walking with us. This is Human Wave, where awakened minds rise into a life of wholeness and fulfillment.